Hey, welcome back to Grim Survival. At the time of this recording, it is the 9th of October. But hey, we got some important things to talk about, so let's just get right on into it. Up first, I have a little article here from August 4th. I talked about it Tuesday, well, in my video on Tuesday about Chile's drought. It's killing thousands of farm animals. As you can see here, more than 106,000 animals have died due to lack of water so far. 37,000 farmers are being threatened. Their livelihood is being threatened here, and not to mention the food supply for the entire region. That's a lot of cows. I mean, 106,000 farm animals have died. In the United States, we're not really faring much better. Cattle prices trend lower, expecting, citing here feed costs in extreme weather, but when you go to read the article, it downplays it a lot, saying, that it's cattle prices have been declining over years and et cetera, et cetera. But really, cattle prices are lower because and meat prices are lower because of the killing of the animals. They are really having to lower the herds. They have too many animals. They cannot feed them. The corn prices are too high. Typically, corn is what is used to feed these animals. What is being substituted now is obviously used baked goods, and this is Reuters. This story has been posted on Yahoo. I seen it first probably 2 months ago on AccuWeather, actually. I was checking the weather one morning and I seen this article and I said something about it in a video, and somebody, a troll came along in the comments. It was quite entertaining. Called me a liar, I think. But anyway, point being, here's an article. I mean, corn is typically used to fatten hogs, cattle, and poultry, but its high price has farmers in the 150 billion U.S. meat industry and dairy industry looking elsewhere to keep the cost down. And so where are they looking? They're using old donuts, stale donuts. Dunkin' Donuts doesn't sell all of their donuts in a single day, so somebody's got to eat it. Might as well be the cows, right? Hey, cows got to eat, so I guess we're fattening them up with donuts. I mean, it says bakery rolls, but it also has been other baked good items, just from what I read. Anyway, that's just pointless. As I talked about in my other video, I think it was in the description, anyway, at least, hashtag NoHarvest19, and you can see it's trending. This is Twitter. Yeah, yeah, just read the comments right here. I love this one. Fields are too wet to combine. Yeah, they can't get the farm equipment out there. Here's some nice pictures of snow, and this person's going to get a drink because that is their wheat field. Yeah, here we go. What is that? I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate. But yeah, as you can see, Twitter, it's pretty bad. Here we go. Rain like a bad habit. Increasingly wet conditions and saturated fields challenge farmers in a changing climate. This was posted 3 hours ago, and you can't see my clock, but it is currently, 10 p.m. on Wednesday the 9th, so 3 hours ago. Yeah. And this is an interesting article. I read most of it. It's just saying the same thing that I've been saying and everyone has been saying, and just rainfall amounts. Rain, rain, rain. It just will not stop raining, as you can see. So let's talk about weather. A little bit of change in climate, as I would like to point out. Now, I travel through the Indianapolis area quite often, and Indianapolis to Chicago quite often, and I pay attention to the weather. And this is October 11th weather, as you can see, Friday night, 37 degrees. That is Indianapolis, 37 degrees, chance of rain, 80% that day. 37 degrees that night. Chicago weather, same thing. Chance of rain that day, 37 degrees at night. So this is interesting between Indianapolis and Chicago. The temperatures being the same like this is just, it's not likely, and it rarely really happens. So you can see the high temperatures a little bit different as I flip back and forth here. But I want to point out something very interesting is this is in between Chicago and Indianapolis. This is about where I start recording videos of farmland, where I get off the interstate, is somewhere in this general area. And as you can see, same date, same rain, more rain here, lower temperature. So what does this mean? Frost. That is what it means. This town is located here. Yeah, right here. I had it on the map just for you. This is Indianapolis. This is Chicago. This town is right about here. And that is farmland. There we go. We'll get it to change. All these individual squares. See them. Thousands of them. Farms. They're all farms. So what does this mean for me and you? Well, frost kills. It really does. Frost kills the crops, and if the crops have not been harvested, well, then they're going to die. And that's really what we're looking at. So obviously we're seeing issues with the crops coming through this particular region if you've watched any of my other videos. But hey, if you don't want to take my word for it, let's just go ahead and go on a road trip. Alright, let's take a quick look at the map before we start our road trip. As you can see, I was coming down I-65. This was Wednesday the 9th. I pretty much recorded every video you see here, the majority of every video you're going to see here, on this day coming down this road. I started right here. This is about mile marker 218, I believe is where we start. And this is about it right here. If you don't know, from Gary, Indiana to Indianapolis is right around 100 to, I'd say, about 150 miles, give or take, something like that. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, starting at the 218. Have a look at the corn here. You can see it's pretty green. I'd say it'd be ready in maybe 2 weeks, possibly 3. That's my estimate. Of course, I am not a farmer, so don't take my word for it. But that's just what I would say. Educated guess. 205, same thing. A little over 10 miles away now. And yeah, green corn. I'm saying at least 3 weeks on that one. And that's just, like I said, my educated guess. Don't take my word for it. So if I'm wrong here, you know, there's a possibility. Is it going to be ready before the frost? Probably not. That's just my guess. But hey, don't take my word for it. Let's just look. Mile marker 200. This is soybeans. It looks ready to go. Has not been harvested, but it looks like it could be. I probably should get to that. My guess. Mile marker 197. Same thing with the corn. Looks ready to go. Just gonna move ahead here. Mile marker 194. Same thing with the corn. Mile marker 188. Green corn. Definitely not ready. Corn is definitely not ready here. This is just a couple miles down the road. Mile marker 185, as you can see. And I have a lot of these videos. I mean, I skipped ahead here. I really did. I could have just kept going and going and going, but I didn't. And this is, if you can catch it, it's mile marker 156, and you could see the green corn in 156. Alright, last but not least, mile marker 143, and yes, there's more corn ahead of me, but I decided to stop it here just because it's very redundant at this point. You can see more green corn. There's no way this corn is going to be ready to harvest by next week. It's just not happening. And next week is when, well, so far they're predicting 30-degree weather, so possible frost. Let's hope I'm wrong, but you never know. It could happen. So anyway, we looked at about 75 miles of corn and soy from mile marker 218 to 143, 75 miles. Now, that's one side of the road that I'm showing you, and this is only what the camera can see. Believe me, I can see a lot farther than what the camera can see. And literally as far as the eye can see is corn and soy just on either side of the road. You're only seeing a quarter of what I see, really. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen harvesting going on. Obviously, as you can see here, I've recorded it all day long also. And as a matter of fact, I've seen more harvesting today than I have seen the entire season. I have seen quite a few fields that have been plowed here or there, but nothing like I've seen today in just these 2 fields that I'm showing you. It really is a lot more just today than it has been. So obviously the farmers are trying to get to it. They're in a hurry. I mean, some fields, this one in particular, had been farmed over a few days. This one here, I've been following the progress here for probably about a week now. And as you can see right here, this is one of the ones that was half harvested last week that has still not been harvested. As you can see, there are still a lot of cornfields up north in northern Indiana and northern Illinois that are not being harvested. Obviously, even some of the corn that they are harvesting is in very poor condition. It didn't grow well. It was due to poor conditions when it was planted in the spring, as we've been talking about here on this channel since, well, well, since the spring, really. It's when I started this, was probably about in the summer, but yeah, somewhere late spring, early summer. But as you can see, some of these fields can't even be harvested. Even if you wanted to, even if they were ready, you cannot harvest particular fields like this one in particular. You can see, and this was in one of my other videos, that it has been flooded for a little over a week now, and as you can see here, this was taken today. This exact same field, it's been at least a week since it's rained, and here it is, still flooded. Alright, welcome back, and thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, remember, like, subscribe, share the video, just spread the word. We really need to spread the word. I'd like to give a quick shout out to Plant-Based Homestead Prepper. Check out his channel. Man, every time I watch this guy's channel, he's always in a grocery store. He's either really hungry or he loves to shop. I'm just messing with you. Anyway, we're going to do a collaboration video, or try to do some collaboration between our two channels in the future. If somebody could ever find time, I mean, one of us, it's just, yeah, somebody can't ever find time to do anything besides, yeah, you know. But yeah, here I am. It's after midnight. I got to be up at 4 a.m. I'm making videos. I got one more thing to show you at the end of this one, so just keep on watching. And like I said, like, subscribe, share the video, spread the word. If you feel inclined, please donate to the channel. It really does help. I need gas money to run all these places. I'm trying to get a new camera too, because all that shaky video that I make. But hey, if you guys do it, thank you. If not, hey, I'm not worried about it. I still have a day job. I won't be quitting because I do not get paid for this. But hey, check out those little last clips I have to show you. And keep in mind, and just before I go, I want to make just one thing. I don't say it enough in a lot of my videos. I tend to, bypass it here or there. I should talk about it more when I can. But everybody always prepares for SH2F, the next scenario. You're preparing for this and that. Very few of us prepare for what comes after. What happens if you don't survive? Where do you find the information you need to prepare for if you don't survive? And I can tell you right now, this is it. Yeah, this is the manual right here. This is the guide. This teaches you about life. And that's only one of the ones I own. So, hey, pick one up if you haven't already. But, hey, thanks for watching. Watch what I got to show you here, because it might make you think about reading that book.